guys, welcome to today's video. Today is a first impressions review on this exciting new product from Australis, and that's the Australis Contouring Highlighting Kit in Cream. Now they do have a powder version of this kit which they've had for a while now. This is probably one of my most used products, and so when I heard that a cream was coming out, obviously I was quite excited because I've never tried cream contouring before, and I thought it would be a perfect chance for a video as well, so always thinking about you guys as well. This one is $17, I believe. The new one, which looks like this, and these are the shades. Sorry, it's a bit messy because I obviously just used it. Here are just some quick swatches of the 6 shades in the contour kit. This one is $25. So it's a bit more pricey and the shades are a little different. This is also the light version. I'm not sure if they'll bring out dark versions, hoping they'll actually bring out a lighter version. But yeah, those are the shades. The bottom ones are quite warm, unfortunately, so if you're thinking I look a bit orange right now, I tried to make do with what I've got, but overall I'm still pretty happy with the result and how I worked with what I had. Sticking with this shade because this is almost just straight up orange. I'm going to be testing this out, telling you my first impressions and whether I like it and whether I would recommend it for your skin tone. So if you're pale like me, you'll find out if it will work for you. And this is the contouring and highlighting bizzo that I created. I even did a bit up here, jawline and the nose. Tried my best. As I said, I've never done this before, so I just learnt what I know from YouTube. And yeah, so if you'd like to see this happen and learn about this contour kit, and if you're thinking about buying it and you need some advice or information, then just keep watching. Okay, so I've done my base, just my normal CoverGirl and Olay foundation, and underneath that, because my skin's so dry and this is a cream product and I really want it to blend really nicely, I use the L'Oreal Paris Base Magique Transforming Smoothing Primer. Just this little tester tube here. This actually felt really, really nice. I'm not one for primers, but I think this is what they call a silicone based one, so you can really feel it filling in anything on your skin, like pores, lines, whatever. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. Starting off, because I'm quite fair, I'm thinking this middle one will be far too orange, this one too light really to do much, so I probably won't be using those two. This one is what I'll be contouring with. I'll be using the yellow one and probably one of these two top ones. I'm not sure yet. I think they might still be a touch too dark for my skin, but I did still buy this because I really wanted to try it out and make a video for you guys. And yeah, so even if I don't use all the shades, I'm sorry. I'll just use what is going to work, and then obviously if you have fair skin like me, you won't be able to use those shades, but if the shades that I do use pay off, then I'll still be happy with this. I'm going to be applying it with this brush here. I don't have many like sort of concealer brushes or anything like that, so I figured this will be good because it's got the point, be able to get into my contour quite well, and then also sort of pat and paint on to my under eyes. So I'm going to start off with the highlighting, dipping into the yellow shade, just as most people do, just do the triangle under my eye. And I'll put a lot on because when I see people cream contour, it's like a really thick layer and I'm like, ooh, do you really need that? But I don't know, so that's what I'm going to do. This brush definitely isn't the greatest, but that's all I have for now. So this could just be the brush, but first impressions, it drags a bit across my skin, so it's not extremely creamy. The colour's pretty good. It's not quite opaque. I think that's because of the brush. It's dragging the product quite a bit. I think I might just pop some of that down the centre of, just up here and down the centre of my nose. Now, touch there, and a touch on my chin. I feel like you can go overboard with cream contouring because it does blend out a lot. Okay, so that's enough for now. Remembering we can always go back and add more. And I'm just going to be blending this out with a damp Chi Chi beauty sponge. I think I'll just use this side. Just start with my chin, just bouncing that off the skin. Okay, I'm not sure if it's because of the sponge, but it appears to just be taking the product off. I'm not sure it's actually blending it in. This also could be the base as well. I never know how wet my beauty blender needs to be. Okay, so it hasn't been a complete fail. I believe I can see my under eyes are a little brighter. I might just go in with more later, I'll see what happens. I think I'll just pop a bit more on now. Okay, so I'm going to stop there with my under eyes. I can see a difference, so it's not a complete loss, but I'm very curious about contour shades, so I will move on to that. And just going into that dark shade. Just sweep that line down your cheek. A little bit up here. So just blend in this bit first. I never contour up here, but for the sake of the video I thought I would. Moving on to the scary part, just going to attempt to blend in this contour just with the very tip so we're not spreading the product at all. And because if anything, I don't want to spread it anyway, but I especially don't want to spread it downwards. So just bounce that off the contour. Do fishy face if you need to help yourself out. You know what? I'm not half mad at that. Actually looks quite nice on camera as well. Looks quite nice in real life. From that to that, I'm pretty impressed. So let's just move on to this side. I think I have a bit more on this side, so this could be a bit harder. It's so funny how it can still look terrible and then with just persistence it can eventually blend out. Don't be afraid to bring it up onto your cheeks because it can just act as a bit of a bronzer anyway. Just as long as you can still see that contour line that you're after. It's definitely something you wouldn't do every day. I mean, some people might want to, but yeah, this is something you take your time with. And feel like even though cream contouring people say is the natural kind of contouring look, I reckon it's kind of more the glamorous way. So just going to go in with the finger with a bit of this shade and possibly the yellow one, I'm not sure yet. And just, yeah, they're really not that creamy. Just drag that under here, underneath the cheekbone. I've almost used like over half of that yellow product, which is crazy. Yeah, so actually I think for the amount of product that you need to cream contour, this won't last you very long. I will say it doesn't blend in that well. And considering I had a base of foundation on, because I wouldn't want to do it straight onto my skin type because it would just definitely drag and not blend at all, but I thought the base would make that blend. But I don't know, it also could be the tool, like maybe these cheat sponges just don't cut it. Now we'll move on to les nose. Just grab that dark shade again, just the very tip of this brush. Just drag it down your nose like that. All the way from your eyebrow to there and join it up there. Just grab this tiny point again and blend that out. I've never contoured my nose before. Because I don't, for one, I don't know how, and two, I don't think I have a big nose, so it's never bothered me enough to want to contour it away. But then people like who don't even have big noses contour their nose, so I think it's just really just makes it look a bit more like you've put thought into every part of your face. It's like with the eyebrows, when people don't do the eyebrows, people think that it lets down the whole look. So now it's like contouring your nose as part of the look. Just fix this up with a bit of the yellow down the bridge of my nose. Careful to make this straight, or else the whole point of contouring your nose is to make it look thin and straight, and if you contour it crooked, you're making it look crooked. I will say, I feel like the contour shades are easier and nicer to blend than the yellow. I still feel like the yellow powder under my eyes, although I did put a lot on, it just didn't quite blend out properly. I can still feel it, and if I still drag across my eye, it will still move. But I guess it hasn't been set yet, so once we set it, I guess you wouldn't put this sort of product on your face and not set it, so I shouldn't really be judging it on that. I think I'll go in with, oh actually I'm just going to contour my jawline. Drag that down a bit and then we'll blend it out. Again, just with the bouncing motion. I've also never done this before, but I think it looks really cool. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I feel like that makes a dramatic difference. That's actually awesome. Well, that's all I can do. Unfortunately, as I thought, this shade here is just a tad too pink, so putting it anywhere wouldn't do much. This one here is just similar but brown, but still too light, like it just wouldn't do anything. So yeah, mainly I just used these two corners just because they work best for me. So if you have pale skin, that's probably the shades you're going to want to steer towards. And yeah, I'll just quickly set this all with my Australis powder contour kit, and then we will take a look. Okay, so this is the finished product. Contoured everywhere, even up here. And basically I will say that if you know what you're doing more than me, you'll probably get a lot more use out of this. And I did enjoy it, and it is definitely something I'm glad to own. But I find also this could just, as I said, this could just be the tools I was using, but I find the yellow colour did not blend quite nicely under my eyes, and the contour shade did blend a lot better. And the more you blend it out, the less orange it is, and I really liked that. And then when I set it, of course, it did cool it down a bit more, but obviously I am still a lot more orange than my neck and chest, but that's okay. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I would go out like this, and I am pretty happy with the product. For $25 it is quite pricey for a drugstore, but it's still quite affordable, and I think, yeah, it's not bad at all. I think maybe even with time I'll get used to it a bit more. You could just have a play around with it. This is the first time I'd used it, so obviously wouldn't be perfect, and first time I've cream contoured, so that's not going to be perfect either. But I gave it a go and giving you my thoughts on it. So if you're thinking of buying it, then I say go ahead. But if you are as pale as me, if not paler, I would say maybe just have a good think about it. If you're as pale as me and you think you can work with it, and give it a go, I definitely recommend it. And also, if you are obviously not pale, then I reckon it'll work wonders for you. So that concludes my first impression review trial test of the Australis Cream Contour Kit. I'll get use out of this. It's fun to experiment with, and yeah, probably babbling on too much, so I'll just stop now. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps someone out there. And yeah, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!